Henry David Thoreau says you cannot hear music and noise at the same time. So today we're going to talk about noise. We're going to think about it. And when I say noise, I want you to think distraction. So let's go through a typical day for an entrepreneur. We wake up, get our phone, start the Instagram scroll. Noise. When we have breakfast, we might spend some time thinking about our day, meditating. We get into the office. What do? We open our email. Noise. We work, we think, how can I put out this fire and this fire? And we spend our day putting out fires. And at the end of the day, we often say to ourselves, did I accomplish anything today? The kids are home, we have dinner to do, all these things, and the whole time our mind is spinning with tasks, things to do. I can pick up my phone right now, and from the lock screen, I already see news feed of things that are going on in the world. I get on Facebook, and the first thing I see are things that are going on in other people's worlds. I get on Instagram and I see a scroll feed of what other people are doing, ideas they're having, progress they have, likes, comments, and all of it sometimes feels a lot like noise. Have you ever been to a place where you just feel like, how can I find clarity in my own mind? Clarity to think through my thoughts, to process those thoughts into action? The biggest thing we have to figure out as entrepreneurs is how to be active amidst all the noise. You know, there's a lot of studies now that are starting to link screen time with ADHD. Most of these studies are done on children, and there's a lot of things that they're talking about. But one of the biggest studies that I read talks about, it's actually not about the content on the screen or the time in front of the screen. It's the amount of movement that the screen has. The scene changes. We're conditioning our minds to have constant distraction, constant movement. And we're all getting to a place where we're having a hard time focusing. For me, this often looks like the YouTube scroll. I'll see something on Facebook that makes me laugh a little bit. I'll start watching one video, and an hour later, I've completely lost the hour. I call this the Facebook or the YouTube rabbit hole. We all have one. Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, the rabbit hole. One thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. The bad thing about the noise is that so often we cannot find our own thoughts amidst all the distraction. There are new psychology studies out now about gray matter atrophy. So in our brains, we have what's called gray matter, white matter. And screen time is linked to gray matter atrophy, which means our gray matter is going away. So why is this so important? That gray matter is what's linked to processing, planning, prioritizing, organizing. As an entrepreneur, 3 of the most important things that we can do are plan, prioritize, and organize. We're idea people, right? We always have ideas. Do you ever feel like you just get stuck spinning in the idea, but not seeing yourself move forward? A lot of times this can be due to the noise, all the noise. The noise of the TV, the screens, the Pinterest, the social media, all the things. These things can be good for ideas, but we need to understand that there's actual studies now that talk about this time keeps us from being able to process appropriately. So if you're struggling today, just deciphering through all the noise, all the distractions, one great step that I've found is to cancel all notifications on my phone and on my computer. So anytime I get an email, it doesn't pop up across the screen. Anytime one of my friends posts on Facebook or Instagram, it doesn't pop up on the screen. We have got to limit the distractions. We need to put parameters around when we let that noise in and when we don't let it in. This past summer, Kyle and I had the amazing privilege of taking a 10-week road trip all out west. We camped, we hiked, we saw so many amazing things. It was incredible. We drove 15,000 miles. It was one of the best trips of my entire life. But you know what was really amazing through that? Was the clarity that came. Sometimes I would just be out and we'd be riding from one place to the other, and I would just sit down and jot notes. Crazy, crazy, crazy. One of the other things I've found is that when I'm out on a run or going around, I have my notes app on my phone. So anytime I have an idea, I just jot it down in my notes app. The crazy thing is, our best ideas come not when we're in front of a computer, but when we're out, when we're doing something else. When have you found recently that one of your best ideas came to you? What were you doing? What activity? The amazing thing is that it's often not when all the noise is going on that we get those good ideas. It's in the quiet. So how can you create more quiet in your life right now? One of the best TED Talks I've ever heard was called The Power of Thymeoff. This is one of the biggest reasons that I implemented a sabbatical into my work life and why I preach that to all my clients. I love the idea of the sabbatical, but really this just goes back to freeing up our mind, clearing the noise. So today, I want to encourage you to take those notifications off your phone, take them off your computer, to keep yourself from that noise as much as possible, those distractions, even if that means blocking time into your day where you just sit without all those things. Because the best thing you can do as an entrepreneur is give yourself the freedom to have your own ideas.